Now, do you know your red stakes from your white stakes? Your free drops from your penalty drops? I think even the most honest of golfers have fallen foul of the rules of golf from time to time. So in this video, I'm joined by rules expert Fergus Bisset here at the incredible Elsa course at Trump Turnberry, where we're going to cover off some of the most broken rules in golf. And make sure you watch number 4, because I think it's one that most golfers in their lifetime have broken at some point. Right, let's get on with the video. Right, so Fergus, my ball, as you can see, has come to rest just off the green here. Someone in the group in front, I saw them hit a bunker shot, hit a load of sand into this area here. And if you look at the definition of the green, you can see here that some of the sand is off the green, some of the sand is on the green. Because I'm so close to the green, I'm on the fringe, I want to putt it towards the hole, which is in this direction. Yeah. Presumably, I'm allowed to just brush all the sand away off the green and I can be on my way.
You have to be very careful here. 2 different rules apply. 8.1a says that you cannot smooth down or remove sand or soil anywhere on the golf course other than on the putting green or on a teeing area. The fringe is not the putting green. You're not allowed to remove the sand and soil from there. 13.1c, however, says that you are allowed to smooth or remove sand or soil from the putting green. You could do that with a towel, with your hand, with a club, but not the fringe. So in this instance, yes, you may remove the sand that's on the putting green.
So I can brush this away, because that's on the green.
But be very careful that you don't get across the edge there, because off the fringe, if you were to touch that, remove that in any way, then you would incur the 2-shot general penalty. So you've done that correctly now. Yeah. You can't remove any more. So if you want to have a putt at it, you now can.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because before I make a go at this putt, you said sand or soil, but things like worm casts,
right,
which obviously are made of soil, that would be off the green. I'm allowed to remove those.
You are. They're classed as a loose impediment, and a loose impediment can be moved anywhere on the golf course.
But just general
soil. Loose soil, no. But a worm cast, it's something that's been created by an insect or a worm in this instance, and you can move that under Rule 15.1.
That's an important distinction there. So, yeah, I'm not going to chip this. I'm going to have a go at it, even though it's, there's sand clearly in my way. Let's see how we get on.
Pretty good.
Yeah, didn't affect it too much. So there you go. I think that's a rule that a lot of golfers fall foul of. If you've got sand off the green and on the green, you can only remove it on the green. And if you do it off the green, it'll cost you a couple of penalty shots. Yes.
Well done.
Birdie. We've got a problem here, Fergus. I've just holed out for birdie, and this is not my golf ball that I started the hole with. It's the same make and model, honest mistake, but the markings are slightly different.
Okay.
What do I do here?
When did you play the wrong ball, do you think?
Well, I think off the tee I hit it into the rough. It was a deep lie. I sort of hacked it out, didn't really check it properly. So off the tee, my second shot, it was possibly around there.
Okay, well, Rule 6.3, you need to correct this mistake. A lot of people might make the mistake of thinking, okay, I've incurred the general 2-shot penalty, add it to their score, move on to the next hole. If you do that without correcting it, you could be disqualified if you tee off the next hole. You've got to correct the mistake before you tee off on the next. So you're going to have to go back to where you played your second from. Hopefully you'll find your ball. You've got 3 minutes to find it. Okay. If so, you play it from there with a 2-shot penalty. If you can't find it, you're going to have to go back to the tee where you'll be playing 5. So good luck. Go back and see if you can find your ball for the second shot.
So I've gone from sort of elation for a birdie to disaster.
To possible disaster.
Potentially making double digits on a par 5.
But as long as you correct the mistake, you avoid the ultimate disaster, which might be teeing off the next and facing disqualification.
Exactly, yeah. So if you've got a good round going and you make the mistake of playing the wrong ball, correct the mistake before you tee off on the next hole, then you won't get disqualified.
Hey Joel, what are you up to?
Oh, I've just subscribed to the Golf Monthly YouTube channel. It's great. They've got tips, what's in the bag videos, equipment videos, rules videos, everything you'd ever need.
Oh man, I'm subscribing to that.
Great. Have you? That's a pretty good shot there, Fergus. I'm about to play this hole as well, and I really want to know what club you hit there. Am I allowed to ask you?
You are not. Rule 10.2a, which deals with advice, says that you are not allowed to either give or receive advice from another player in the competition. Now, advice is a comment or an action that will influence a player in club selection, in how they play a stroke, in how they play a hole, or how they play the entire round. In this instance, I'm not even allowed to show you.
Right.
I'm not allowed to give you advice. You're not allowed to ask for advice. You could have a quick look in my bag, see what club I've hit, as long as you don't root around in my bag.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to ask me, I'm afraid, Joel.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty common scenario, isn't it? People wanting to know, just a throwaway comment, oh, what did you hit there? But if you do that, you are in contravening the rules of golf.
You are, and you will get the general 2-shot penalty if you do so.
Okay, so there you go. You mustn't ask a playing partner what club they hit. It counts as advice, and it's going to cost you a couple of shots. I've just turned that over. It's pretty tight to the ocean there, Fergus, and all the rocks and stuff. I think I'm going to hit provisional.
You can't do that, I'm afraid.
Right.
It's a penalty area. You can see the red stakes there, so you think it's possibly gone into a penalty area. You can only play a provisional ball if you think your ball has either gone out of bounds or is lost somewhere on the golf course. If you've gone into a penalty area, you have to proceed under Rule 17, and there are options that you have there, one of which would be to play again from the tee. But if you do so, that's not going to be a provisional ball. That will now be the ball that's in play. And if you got down there, having played another ball off this tee and found that your original ball was in play, it would be out of the game, and you would be playing the second ball that you hit.
So even if I declare it as a provisional?
Yeah. You can't.
I can't declare, I can't do
declare
that.
it as a provisional. That's the point.
And obviously, even if it's in the penalty area and I can't find it,
yeah,
that doesn't matter because it's a penalty area.
That's okay. And then if you hadn't played one, you would have the option to come back and play again. If you could see where it had gone over the line down there, you might be able to take a lateral 2-club length drop. However, if you just played another ball immediately from here, that will be the ball that's in play.
So there you go. You can't hit a provisional ball if your ball goes into a penalty area. You can only do it if it's lost in the general area of the course or out of bounds. Be careful of that one because it could cost you a couple of shots. Well, Fergus, I've hit my ball into a spot of bother here. I'm pretty sure it's my ball. I'm just going to check because it's very deep, so I can't quite see. I know I'm allowed to lift the ball up to check it.
Oh, okay.
It is my ball.
Yeah, okay. You made a bit of a mistake though.
Oh no, what have I done?
You didn't mark. You need to mark the spot before you lift it. Even if it is your ball, even if you put it back in the correct place,
yeah,
you haven't marked it, so you're going to incur a 1-shot penalty. Sorry.
That's just, even though I put it back exactly where it was.
There are a few things that you need to be very careful of when you're doing this. First things first is that you have to be unsure whether it's your ball. A lot of mistakes can be made, but if you can see it's your ball and you pick it up, no matter how well you do it, it's going to be a 1-shot penalty.
Right.
If you don't mark it, as you have just done, it's a 1-shot penalty. You're allowed to, when you've lifted it, you're allowed to clean it enough to be able to identify it. If you clean it any more than that, that's a 1-shot penalty. Okay. When you put it back, you've also got to be very careful, because if you don't put it back in exactly the same place, you're going to be playing the ball from a wrong position. 14.7 is going to come into play, and you're going to get the general penalty of 2 shots, not 1 shot.
So there you have it. That's a really important rule, that one, Fergus. Definitely one that I think a lot of golfers break, probably accidentally in most cases. If you are looking to identify your ball, you can't quite see it's yours, make sure you mark the position of it with a tee. That's going to get you out of all sorts of trouble.
I'll just tap it in.
Sure, no worries, Ferg. Take your time. I've just realised something, Fergus. We've just talked about giving advice on the tee. I've just told you to take your time. Does that count as advice?
I would say it's close to, but I don't think it is. I think that's same take your time in that instance as a throwaway comment in the spirit of the game. You weren't intending to influence my stroke there. It was a purely kind of sporting comment. I think if you had elaborated at all and you'd said something like, Fergus, take your time on that, because last time you rushed your putt and you don't want to miss that short one again, that probably would constitute advice and you'd be in line to get the general penalty of 2 shots. But I think in that instance, yeah, a throwaway comment. And you've had that clarified by the RNA? I spoke to the RNA about that one. We got a reader's question in about that. And if it's purely a throwaway comment like that, it's not advice. It's not constituted advice. But yeah, if you sort of gave any more, your stroke was a bit quick, or you decelerated on that, so take your time, that's advice.
There you go. So be careful when you're making sort of throwaway comments. Just taking your time is fine, but anything more than that could constitute advice, and you'd get 2 shots added to your score. So there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and you've learned something about the rules of golf, and if you find yourself in any of those situations, you'll know exactly how to proceed and then hopefully not incur any unnecessary penalty shots. But that's all from me and Fergus here at the wonderful Elsa course at Trump Turnberry. We'll see you next time.